chicken tray bakes. They are so popular, and I'm going to put a Sicilian twist on this. The Sicilian flavours come from the pine nuts, capers, and sweetness from the prunes. Also some eggplant. Now I'm going to use some chicken Marylands. Now chicken Marylands is the piece of chicken that has the drumstick and the thigh connected together, two of the best parts of the chicken. And I'm going to season them and oil them, so extra virgin olive oil over the top. And before we place it in the tray, I just want to get some nice colour on the chicken. Salt and a good crack of pepper. And just coat it entirely in the oil. Now you can see there's a lovely amount of fat on it, so we don't need to add too much oil, just a thin coating. And I've been preheating my pan, and we're just going to seal it for a few minutes until the skin starts to blister. Now for some eggplant, one firm eggplant, and we're going to cut that into 4 and then into quite chunky bits, so about 3 centimetres in width. Cut that one up a bit more. And I want them to be quite chunky like this because they will shrink significantly in the oven. I also want them to cook at the same amount of time as the chicken. So I'm going to place them into a tray, and I just want to oil them first. So extra virgin olive oil. They're like sponges, so they can take quite a lot of oil. Coat them. And just like we did for the chicken, we're going to season it with some salt and a small crack of pepper. Okay, so they go into the pan, and we're not trying to cook them at this stage. We just want to get some colour because colour equals flavour. Great. While that's sealing off, let's get our other ingredients into the pan. It's all about whacking it in the pan and getting in the oven quickly. Some tomatoes, some cherry tomatoes. I'm leaving them whole, pop them in. Rosemary. We're just going to cut the rosemary into small little sprigs, so just tear it apart. I love the flavour of rosemary, but don't overuse it. So 1 sprig will give you an intense flavour, so that's just plenty for this recipe. We'll throw our capers in and prunes, and you can change the dried fruit if you like. Sultanas work nicely, raisins also work. Okay, the chicken can go into our baking dish now. Pop it on all of those lovely ingredients. And the eggplant, let's have a look at that. Yeah, see we've got some good colour, and that'll finish cooking in the oven. Now just spread it out. Now we're going to sprinkle with some chilli on the chicken and the eggplant, and some stock, chicken stock. I'll need 1 cup of this chicken stock, and I'm going to reserve the rest of this really hot stock for our couscous. Pine nuts can go on top, and they're not toasted because they're going to toast in the oven. So that can go into the oven 190 degrees. It's going to cook for about 35 to 45 minutes. Because the chicken has the bone in it, it does need a little more time. Now the chicken is nearly ready, so we can get on to the couscous. This is the North African influence here. 1 cup of couscous, instant couscous, and then I'm going to add a little butter because I love butter with this, along with 1 cup of hot chicken stock. And then I'm just going to allow it to sit there so all of the couscous absorbs the liquid. Happy with this chicken. It's golden on the top, and the eggplant so soft, just perfect. And for the couscous, I've allowed it to steam. You can see it's doubled in size, and using a fork I like to separate the grains. You want to almost plough the couscous. I think that's a great descriptive word for this, and you'll see that they separate and become super fluffy just like that. Okay, we'll place a generous spoonful of our couscous onto a plate, 2 spoonfuls. And for the chicken, I'll add that to the top. It's a generous portion. And we're going all of these lovely juices and the eggplant. Be generous with it, the tomatoes and all of those juices with the capers, the rosemary and chili, just stunning. Look at that. I love this dish. It's so simple to put together, but there's so much flavour. This is for 2, but by all means, just double the recipe. You can feed the whole family. They'll love it.